This is Angela with Infectious Magazine here with Make Do and Mend. How are you?
Good. Real good.
You're back to playing full sets today after a few acoustic only, right?
Yeah.
Which you explained to your fans via Facebook. But, although for tragic reasons, are you sort of looking forward to getting back into the swing of the full set? And was it nice to sort of switch it up a little bit?
It was weird to switch it up a little bit. I'm definitely stoked to get back into the groove of things. I hate days off. So not being able to play a show is like the worst thing in the world to me. So totally. So it'll be nice to be back.
And now, also, you're from Connecticut, correct?
Yep.
So even though the Connecticut date is coming close, are you looking forward to being just a little bit closer and at least on the East Coast again?
Totally. I actually live in Boston.
So you are.
I'm honestly like half an hour away from my apartment right now.
Must be a little bit like torture, though.
It's totally like torture.
Yeah.
It's like so close yet so far. Like the weird thing about Warped Tour is the fact that no matter where you are in the country, it takes place in a parking lot somewhere.
That's true.
And all parking lots look exactly the same. So like, no matter, we could be in like Minnesota right now. I would just have no idea. We're super close to home, and luckily my girlfriend's here and a couple friends are here. Yeah, so it's really, really nice.
What have you learned from touring with some of the other bands on this tour?
I've learned to be really open-minded, to be perfectly honest, because there's a lot of bands on this tour who you look at who look very different from myself and most of my friends, in the clothes they wear, the way they carry themselves, and it's really easy to initially just say like, oh, that's weird, like he's probably not a very cool guy, and it's the exact opposite. Really early on in the tour, a guy walked up to me and he was like, hey man, how you doing? Like, I just wanted to let you know I'm a huge fan of the band, like heard your new record, really like it a lot. My name's Brian, I work for Vampires Everywhere. And I was like, my mind was blown. He was the nicest guy in the entire world. We've been buddies since then. Just a total sweetheart. And, just someone from a completely different walk of life. But, everybody gets along pretty well for the most part.
So sort of in that same vein, what is a band that, people might not expect that you would enjoy, but that whether it's a guilty pleasure or not, it doesn't matter?
I have been watching, and people give me so much crap for this, I've been watching Mice and Men just about every day. They are heavy.
Yeah.
They're wicked heavy, and their bass player sings. They do the whole screamy, singy thing. And their bass player sings, and he's just got a set of pipes on him. It's ridiculous. So that's something that I never thought I would watch and be like, this is actually all right.
So friends and family have been pretty surprised? Or you keep that to yourself?
Well, no. People, like, on the tour, I'll be like, yo, I just watched Of Mice and Men, and they were awesome. And people were like, really, man? All right.
Shaking their heads at you?
Yeah, well, they can be skeptics. It's okay.
What is your first musical memory growing up?
Oh, gee whiz. My little brother, Matt, who plays drums in Make Do and Mend, for his 5th birthday, I want to say, he got a guitar. And then that same birthday, I got a drum set. And we both started playing like the instruments that our parents bought for us. And we're both sort of just like, yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't really fit. So then we switched. So I started playing his guitar, he started playing my drums. And that's sort of, where we went from there. But so that's my first ever musical memory, was him getting a guitar for his birthday.
And so at what point did you really, that wasn't a hobby, I guess?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I started playing guitar when I was 10, and just sort of played really casually for a bunch of years. Then joined my first band when I was probably 14 or 15. So I guess that's when it's still...
You're still 14.
It's still pretty much a hobby, to be perfectly honest. Well, it's a little more serious, but it's just like anything else, I guess.
Do you think that you're more critical of music playing it yourself? Do you listen for those things and pick up on those things a little bit more?
I'm definitely very critical of music. Playing in a band, I'm more critical of the ethos and the motive behind music than just the music itself. I mean, I can be very picky as to, how the music sounds, but any band, I always try to like dig deeper and like find the substance in a band. And that's what turns me off from a lot of bands. And people are always like, well, you can't just take it for what it is. Just take it for face value. Take it for a catchy song.
Never.
And I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I really have a tough time with it. So yeah, that's more my. That's sort of what I have trouble with sometimes.
So then, how do you feel about the idea that music and musicians are sort of raising our generation?
Are what now?
Are raising our generation.
I think music and musicians have raised every generation, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I certainly was raised on, the bands that I loved, and I followed. And, when we say searching for substance, I searched for substance in those bands and found, a positive message and sort of whether it was getting into straight edge as a result of, bands that I loved, getting into veganism as a result of bands I loved, finding a safe path to take through the music that I loved. And I think it's been that way, for always. Hopefully it always will be.
What is one question you'd like to be asked but never have been, and what is the answer?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You have... Oh, come on.
I swear to God, there's plenty of questions that I hate being asked, but not...
Well, that seems mean to say.
Well, no. I mean, you're killing it, but there's plenty of like... what's your craziest tour story ever? Or like, what's your favorite food to eat on the road? And it's like, unless was that what you were about to ask me?
No, it's gonna.
So yeah, there's a lot of bad ones, but I'll answer just about any question you throw at me.
And is there anything else you'd like to add?
Not really. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you very much.